Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. I have a game for you. Can you guess which knife on this table is the cheapest and which one is the most expensive and where they all rank? And can you look at the quality of the knife and tell which one has a high value compared to its price? You know, that's a very hard thing to know in the knife world. There's a lot of things that go into it. The materials, obviously, where it's made, and the cachet or the name that comes with it. It's very hard to tell just by looking at a knife how much it's worth if you don't have any kind of idea about it. So when you look at these knives, they have different finishes. Here we have a polished DLC with the colorways on it. This looks like a very expensive knife. This knife here looks like a work knife, something you would carry every day. It's built very thickly and it's got that USA stamp on it. So is this worth a lot more than something that looks like this and has fine machining all over, but is made in China? And what about this guy? This is a strange guy. How much do you think this is worth? This is a scythe also made in China, 154 cm. And I guess I should mention this one that I picked up is 45 S45 VN, and this is made out of Elmax, as is this guy here. And then we have this plain, very plain looking knife right here. If you didn't know better, it looks like the plainest knife here. But what is it worth? And then you look at this knife, which I think any amateur would look at and be like, wow, that's a crazy looking knife. They'd say, that must be worth something. Look at its thumb studs. Wood handles, milled titanium clip. That looks like an expensive knife to someone who doesn't have a trained eye. Whereas this knife, which has just a bent clip and looks gunmetal gray and absolutely plain, looks relatively cheap compared to this. You know, it's a dilemma. What do you place on the value of a knife? The cheapest knife here is between these two. Both of these knives are around $60. This knife is obviously a hawksbill and a liner lock, and no matter what you say, this knife is actually sought after, despite its cheap cost, because of its unique design and the promise of more to come. And you look at this, and this is from Artisan Cutlery, and this knife looks extraordinarily well designed. It's called the Ahab, but it's a budget knife, and it too is around $60. Now, which one do you think is more expensive? Well, let's compare these two. Which one do you think is more expensive? This guy or this guy? Now, this is Elmax, made in China and American. This is made with such high tolerances. This is the Pulsar. Elmax, nice titanium diamond, both sides. And you look at this guy, same thing. DLC, polished, nice titanium, and a milled clip on this one. And then you look at this, but it's American made. And I put an aftermarket clip on it from Lynch Clip, so don't pay attention to that. It usually comes with this clip, which is ugly. But it's got a nice cutout for reversing it, the way that you carry it. But USA made, looks like a workhorse, and it is a workhorse. And in fact, it has a horse on it. Well, this one here costs $260 and this costs $425. So in if you include the cost of the clip, this knife here costs $200 less than this knife. So what's in a value? What's in a country? What's in all that kind of stuff? I don't know. I enjoy it all. And finally, let's talk about this guy. This is also $400. And it's a plain titanium, 2 slabs of titanium workhorse knife, but made by Ray Laconico. And I think still ground by him too. And they only release a couple a week. And I was fortunate enough to get one. This is a very plain knife, but I got to tell you, it gives me a lot of joy. I don't like its clip very much, and there's several things I don't like about it. But the way that it flicks out, and the way that it cuts and is so thin behind the edge, even though a lot of these other knives have greater design value to me, this knife gives me just as much joy as all the rest. So I don't know where this leaves me on the whole value question, but I think there's value to be found in a lot of different areas. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and if you leave a comment, I'd love you even more. And if you want to be entered into a free knife giveaway every month, all you have to do is join me on Patreon for $3 a month. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.